Hey guys. Uh yeah, so this is reflection video number 5. Um this is really spontaneous. I was like, "Oh, I think I should do a response video, a reflection video." And I just literally pressed record. So this is all very much half-baked ideas and everything. I met this really cool dude on here yesterday. His name is Ben from the Jerky Review. He does like a YouTube channel that's about beef jerky. um, I subscribed to him, and we were talking on here. I didn't record him, um, but we were talking for a bit. Hopefully, he'll be on maybe in a video coming up. I don't know. Um, but he's subscribed. Seems like a really nice guy, and I watched his videos. They're funny. And he was just telling. He was like looking through my videos, and he was like, "Oh, you know what? Like, this is a great this is a great channel. What you're missing is thumbnails." So I was like, okay, thumbnails. I've been hearing this thumbnail thing. Okay. So I've started putting thumbnails on the videos, which has been kind of a fun little project. As a kind of side thing from the actual substance of the video. But hopefully those thumbnails will help to bring more people in to watch the videos. And I'm looking to really try to expand this channel a little more in an authentic way. So I'm considering subscribing to Instagram, which is like totally not me. But if it's for this purpose to get the word out there, um, to be able to expand the audience of people who are watching us, strangers, and hearing their stories and hearing different perspectives from actual people and not just corporations, um, and those other agendas, then it'll be worth it, I think. You know, so I'm excited to get that going. Um, so since my last reflection video, I've done 4 videos. Courtney, who is a nurse in Louisiana, and it was interesting talking to her because she was mentioning that she has black neighbors, but I, but it was I should have asked her during that, like, oh, like, could you reflect with us on uh, what your what your black neighbors think of the Black Lives Matter movement if you've talked to them about that. But Courtney said that she's very much in support of all lives matter. Um, and I personally am not for that, for saying that, because I think it misses the point of the people who are ostracized in our society and that the institutions are kind of treating unjustly. But I also understand. Uh, so from my perspective, I wouldn't say that. But like, I understand. I think, like, from her perspective, what she's seeing is just a lot of hatred, um, and that we all need to get along. Um, and so, I mean, I disagree with her perspective, but I also think that maybe people from All Lives Matter who say that, like, what is their intention for saying that? Is it to say like we're all equal? Um, we are all born into different circumstances. We're all dealt a different hand of cards, and so in that way, we're not all equal, but we all are human. And because of that, I think we all have the capacity to love. We all have the capacity to be kind to each other and to not be hateful. And if that's the perspective of all lives matter, then I agree with the essence of it, but I don't agree with what it's missing when it talks about when it prioritizes all lives matter over Black Lives Matter. I also am kind of getting sick of talking about this stuff. Like, it's also like not really. I mean, I want to bring people together, um, but I really get sick of talking about this stuff because it just seems so obvious to me what the answers are, which is not what a good listener says, you know. So yeah, I had a really great talk with Isaac, I think, who is stranger number 17, and we just talked and talked, and I think he's really interesting. Um, he recommended a few dark web podcasts. Um, Darknet Diaries, I think I'd like to check that out. I recommended that to one of my good college friends. And we talked about anti corruption. He talked a lot about how the people in Norway trust the government. We need to restore trust in our government. The way to do that is to push anti corruption measures. Really, none of the presidential candidates who ran this year, and certainly not President Trump, none of them really pushed any kind of anti corruption legislation at all. So let's get to that. Let's lift up the people who are, you know, prioritizing anti corruption. Um, yeah, I had two other videos. Bobby McFarland, who's an old friend of mine, and we talked for a long time. I'd recommend if you want to get to know me better, I would recommend watching that video because we just had a good catch up. I kind of talked about my clowning background a little bit, and I talked about some of my relationship stuff, I think, and some of my family. And then Tiffany today, we talked. We literally just talked. She's a mother, a new mother. She's just turned 22 years old. She came from a lifetime of trauma, it sounds like. You know, she grew up on a farm and then I guess she was homeless and, now she's living with her boyfriend's, I forget if it's boyfriend or fiance or husband, her partner's family's home. So that's where she's living now. You know, people are struggling big time in this country. Everyone is. Only a select few, lucky few, are not. Um, Gets me really sad and angry, and sometimes I feel helpless. I was just talking to my roommate yesterday. We had such a good talk. And I was telling him, like when I was younger, I like we were talking about, who were the people in your life that you remember that died, that you were really close to. And, I remember my grandpa dying, and that is actually my grandma who was just on here a few days ago. That was her husband. And, to be honest with you, I wasn't really close to Pop Up. When he died, he was like 86 or something. Um, but after Pop Up died, I would always like hug people, like whenever I was saying bye to them, like instead of like just being like, hey, see ya, I'd like give them a hug. And I was realizing that I think it like what if we just lived our lives um thinking that this could be the last time that I see this person. This could be the last time that I ever am able to hug my mom or hug my dad. um I just think if you think about death a lot more, we become more grateful for what we have, and we also fight for what we want more. you know I think about dying, um not as much as I used to, but I think about death often. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm propelled to do this channel, because I have no idea how much time I have on this earth, and I want to do the most I can. I've already wasted 29 years of my life. I haven't wasted it, but I haven't really done what I've wanted to do in my 29 years. I've done what I thought I wanted to do, But this is something that I think I'm getting a lot of value out of myself. I think I'm helping people. I think listening and being present with people is really important. And so I think this project, this experiment stems a lot from me thinking about death and my own mortality and my legacy and what I want to leave to others and what I want to kind of be known for after I die, is connecting people, building bridges, putting empathy into action. But I mean, this is so tiring to do this stuff. I mean, I'm only 2 weeks in, and I'm little by little, I'm doing things little by little. I just really want this world to get better. Oh, it's, I don't know. I feel melancholy about it. I feel bad too because, like, I feel bad because, like, people are watching this and I'm literally being myself right now, and people are probably looking at me like, why are you so sad? Why? Kenny, you're so sad. I just think I'm being realistic in these moments. I think I'm a very positive person, I'm very hopeful. I think, like, this is a hopeful project. But man, the world is sad. The world is a sad place. And a lot of people are not happy, and what makes me happy is hearing people's stories and knowing that other people could be listening and learning and feeling something because of what I'm doing. That brings me happiness. Otherwise, I'm just pretty tired. And anyway, um, yeah, I think the next video I'd like to do kind of like I would just kind of like to talk about myself, which is kind of funny. Um, just kind of have my own self interview. Um, I'll move chronologically. I think that's something that I want to do. I'd also like to recommend again the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron and Be Here Now by Ram Dass. I'd like to just recommend those books over and over. Uh, okay. Well, I think that's it for now. And please, if you're watching this and you had a conversation with me, please send me an email if you haven't already with a picture that I can use for a thumbnail for your video. Um, Also, if you have not been interviewed by me or had a conversation with me and would like to, you can go to my website, kennyfedorko.com, contact me via the contact tab, and it'd be awesome to schedule a conversation with you to hear your viewpoints on things. It's this thing is growing very slowly, but very surely, and together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Okay, I'll talk to you all soon. Love you all. Thanks again for listening to me. You all rock. Keep living your life. Bye bye.